Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 251. I am B.
Chic,
And I'm Ryan.
and we have no
And
guest.
We have a guest.
It's just us
Yeah.
today.
I realized I watched back on the last episode. I seemed like I was so awkward introducing myself.
I felt like you forgot
Yeah.
to,
Because when I started, now I just have it, so it's just set up, just recording. But I always try to change this shot of you guys, so it's just you when you introduce yourself. So I'm in the middle of changing shots.
You're doing
while
stuff.
So now I'm just gonna leave it like this, and it's so yeah. But I
Well-
also do feel like I do need a nickname. I don't like being Ryan when you guys don't. Nobody calls you.
What nickname can we give
I
you?
don't.
It'll
there's no-
naturally come eventually.
Yeah, there's no.
By the way,
you
what's
can't-
your real last name? Is it? It's not Brooke?
It is Brooke now. I legally changed my name to
Oh,
Brooke.
you did?
Yeah, it was Chronopolis. Yeah, I
Chronopolis.
legally changed it to Brooke. Yeah, I went through the whole steps.
You went. What? Why?
Well, initially it was because my grandfather on my mother's side was the last living Brooke, so my intention was to carry his name on because Chronopolis go deep, and but then I didn't have kids, so it doesn't really matter. I extended it.
Stop with me anyway.
I extended it just one more generation. Just kept it going.
Wow. All right.
But also, I don't know. My mother, my parents got divorced when I was young, and I was way close with my mother, and I just always felt like I identified more with.
You
the
identified
Brooks.
as a Brooke.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. And then also, it was before I got married, and
I'm sorry, you were married? I didn't know that. I thought
public.
we got to know you were 2 episodes
know
ago.
this?
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think she was begging me to not have her. She could have just
She
not.
didn't want to be
she
a
didn't want-
Chronopolis?
Yeah, she's like, don't make me be Chronopolis. I would much rather be Brooke. It's much prettier. But yeah.
Wow. This is interesting.
Yeah. But also, I also don't know why women, aren't we past that? Like, women taking men's names? you know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of
Why?
silly.
I mean, maybe I'm old school, and I'm not, I don't understand why it's a big, I don't know. I feel like that's not the way things should be still going. I don't know.
Well,
I
the
don't-
weird thing is that we should be taking the woman's name because of the childbirth. You can only guarantee that the child is the mother's child.
That's
So
very true.
That is a fair.
If you're going to
I never
pass the name
thought
on,
about
if
it
you're going
like
to pass
that.
the name on through the family, wouldn't it be 100%? We know this is the mother. It came out of the mother. So
use their
wouldn't that?
last name.
That
wouldn't
does
that-
make more sense.
Yeah,
It was a different world when this whole thing
much different
started.
world.
it's the patriarchy. You know,
Yeah.
am I right, guys?
P, what would your last name be?
What?
If you took if your mother's last name is
Oh, Murphy. Brendan Murphy. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't really.
Yeah.
I
be
know a Brendan Murphy.
I know.
and
I'd
he's
be
a great guy.
I'd be a Murph.
You'd be a Murph. I would be Thomas Riccio.
Riccio.
Yeah, we couldn't call you Chick.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what
that's
is, what
right.
is your,
Chick wouldn't exist.
what is your?
My last name's Chickalo.
Oh, that's what they call you.
And
Chick, okay.
we've been
Yeah.
Chick has been my brother was Chick, my other brother was Chick, and
Yeah.
it's just everybody gets called up.
I
by their
guess so.
friends.
And Murph is big. Any Murph Murphy I've ever known has been Murph.
It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
Murph.
Yeah.
My dad still calls my mom Murph. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he's like
Oh,
Murph.
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's gender fluid. It goes both ways. There's Murph men.
In your family, it is. I don't know that.
I was
I don't
just
know.
gonna say.
I don't know that I've ever heard that outside your family.
No,
Yeah.
it's there. It's there in our family.
I don't hear a lot of women getting called by last name.
That's so true.
That
Yeah.
is true.
Because even when I was young, it was people would say it was a mouthful. People would be like, "Yo, Chronopolis," and we're
What is that? Greek?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chronopolis. Yeah. Right. What an idiot.
And I was the only kid that my father always used to put my name in the back of my little league jerseys.
Oh,
Like,
really?
It was the
It was the
whole.
whole, and I was like, I was like thin guy. I was like a thin
Yeah.
kid for a while. It was like
It went from your,
Oh, like,
basically
yeah.
your hip to hip.
there's a couple of baseball players, like Major League Baseball players, that have real names, and it's always funny to see it. go
There's
from-
one guy
Who, yeah, that has the longest.
that he changed his name. It's like it's 2 names now. I think he plays for the Marlins.
I've seen it, and it's literally it's like the whole
Yeah.
jersey.
Yeah.
It's like in the shape of a rainbow.
Yeah.
It starts
me.
it starts at the hip and ends
was
up on the other hip.
But I was the only kid. Like my father went out to like a place and he got,
Oh, he got it, so
it
nobody
done.
else had
Nobody else on
their
the team had the
Oh,
name. on the back.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I know. He really thought
That's
I was
kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
That's cool if you're a stud. If you're not good, then you just look like
I was
why-
good for a while. I was actually
All right.
really good. You know, I was
Nice.
on the traveling teams and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But he was. So I think he was hoping that I would do what he never did because like he you know.
He wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's it. My father's life is baseball.
I always wanted to have like I love my name now, Brendan Ryan, but 2 first names. I wanted a last name.
Mm-hmm.
When you grow up with like 2 first names, it's
Yeah.
like I remember just wanting to change my last name
Yeah.
just because it wasn't it just was like there was like 8 Ryans I went to school with.
First name Ryan's.
First name Ryans.
Yeah.
It's like why I wanted a cool last name,
Yeah.
you know?
Your mother's got Murphy Ryan, which is I just like she's her name, last name, first name.
What do
Like
you
if
mean?
you want to hyphenate her, okay, so her maiden name is Murphy.
Yes.
So she goes to, in theory, her name is what's her mother's first name?
Joan.
Joan. So that's a first name.
Mm-hmm.
Joan, last name Murphy, hyphenated Ryan, first name. It's like first name, last name, first name. I get it. It's just something
You
that
get
popped
it.
into my
But
dumb
does
head.
anybody else?
I have no idea what he just tried to explain.
So just to make clear, you understand yourself. That's what you.
And your mom was. What's your mom's first name?
We don't have any first names for last names, so it doesn't
No, but
work.
what is her first name?
Deb.
So Debbie Riccio Chicolo.
Oh, that's a mouthful. Yeah, Riccio Chicolo.
I was saying her last name is the only one that's a pure last name is technically the hyphenated maiden name.
I think he's high. I think that's
I
what
am
it
high
is.
as a fucking kite.
Sometimes, like the thoughts in his head.
Well, I actually don't. I never liked my first name either, so I wanted to change. When I went to get my last name changed, I'm like, I might as well do the whole thing. Like, I'm going through this thing. Like, you have to go to the courts. You have to.
Wait, so you changed your first name or you didn't?
No, I never did.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm like to get people to like this year this deep into my life
No.
to get people to try to call you
New
something
name
different.
guys.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not
Oh,
doing.
that
I'm not
would've
doing.
been
What
that.
would you
fucking
change your
hysterical.
name to?
I really never even got that far,
Yeah.
but I wanted to do something like unique. Yeah.
I was named after Tom Selleck, and for some reason I embraced it.
Oh,
I was,
Is that right?
and I embrace it. And I always liked my name. I never had an issue with my first name.
Right.
But you would think I'd be embarrassed to be named after Magnum PI, but I
No,
wasn't.
Magnum PI would be embarrassed to be.
It'd be my namesake.
Yeah. He's like, who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my brothers were both R's, Rich and Rob, and they wanted to name me. I was almost Ryan. Like I think I was Ryan for almost a day, and then they changed it to Tom. They didn't want the other R, but they were gonna go with all the all the
They
sort
saw
of
Tom
RC.
Selleck and they're like, I
And then
think.
my mother's favorite, I guess she loves Big Magnum PI, Tom
Yeah,
Selleck fan.
apparently,
So
yeah.
they did it.
And then she got Magnum PU. Sorry.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
That was a good one.
So wait, so
well,
how long did it take to like change the last name? And
it
was
was a
your
few month process. You have to publish it in a local newspaper. You have to let it known so people can object to it if
what
they
is
want
it?
to.
1832?
No, yeah,
That is an old law.
That's
and now
old.
It's
yeah.
just old.
It's because like if you're running from something, somebody has to be able to object to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And was your dad upset by this? Do you have like
he was more upset than I thought. I thought he would be like, yeah, that makes sense. But he was just like, he was kind of like, oh, like was
he
taken
took
aback.
it more as like an insult than as a
Yeah.
homage to your mom.
Yeah, but I think if he took a step back, he'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because it seemed like he was he's putting your name on the jersey and all this stuff,
yeah,
and
he's
you're
really
like,
proud of it. And I actually I was always proud of my last name. I liked having a long, like, unique last name.
that's
Yeah.
why I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I wish I had a.
Yeah, I did like it, but it just,
It's good until nobody can pronounce it, and then you're constantly correcting
Yeah.
people.
you know what's funny
Yeah.
too is like the Chronopolis name, like all the marriages failed on my father's side of the family, but my mother, the
Brooks
Brooks names didn't. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have better luck with the Brooks. I didn't, but so I think I just
You broke the mold.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, no, I always thought I was gonna be Christian at first. My mother wanted to name me Christian, but that wasn't was not the Chris in the family.
Were you named after anybody?
I don't think
No
so.
actors
No,
or
I don't think
anybody?
so. No.
Yeah.
I love Tim Gage has two sons, and his second son is named after him, Tim. And I always think it's so funny when somebody has two kids and they don't name their first kid. So it's like, all right, so you want to name a kid after you, right? But it means like, did they give birth to the first kid? And he looked at the baby and he was like,
not this one.
Not
Bad
this one.
vibes from
Not this one.
No, this isn't a junior here.
Yeah, we're gonna try this again. Let's, yeah.
We got time.
Yeah.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
But then the one, the Tim that he named himself after, he's like a rapper. He's like, he's yeah.
Oh, I've
So-
heard of
Yeah, so I think he's probably like, I should have gone with that.
should've
first.
went
I
with
should
the
have. Yeah, you can't tell.
hilarious.
Yeah, judge a book by its cover.
It's hard to tell when they're a baby,
Yeah, I know.
that they're going to turn into a white rapper, you know?
What do you guys think about people like name stealing where like friends? So I know of certain people who've had issues with like, I'm going to name somebody this, and then a friend of theirs wants to name it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it's like, who thought of it first?
Yeah, that's messed up. Obviously, that was very popular. That was a Seinfeld episode, wasn't it? George wanted to name his kid Seven.
7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Is that one of your quiz questions?
No, it's not. It's not.
What did George?
That'd be great if we already started answering his questions before he gave us the quiz.
But
Chic-
I never understood like if I liked the name and if it wasn't if it's a friend who the name's still good in my, as long as it's not in the family of people you see a lot, the name's still good in my opinion.
What
Am
would
I
you name
wrong?
your kid? Benny the Butcher? What would you go? I know it'd be
I
something like
had two names that I always would've-
Jizza. What would it be?
So I'll actually, me and one of a girl that I dated for years, like we dated for not years, but like 3 years, right after high school. And we used to talk about kid names, like whatever, like people do. And like I always liked the name Ava as a girl, but my cousin already used that name, so that's out.
So you just said, yeah.
I said family, I
well,
would.
family, right,
Friends, I
family,
would.
yeah.
Okay.
Matt would be the boy's name.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
After somebody?
Yes.
Yeah. It's after
After my good friend of mine.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, I never really thought that far.
But that's the only two names, and that's for reasons like.
Before, we'll refer to her, as Cheryl. My ex's name was Cheryl, but I was actually having this conversation, because we're still pretty good friends. So like when I talk about it, to say my ex seems so like aggressive and like dirty, but then just to call her my friend feels like not enough. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my friend that I was married to for a while. So I'm like, it's just Cheryl. Yeah.
My past wife.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like she died.
Then it
Yeah,
does,
yeah, that does. You sound like a widower.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought this up, but so she wanted to name her son John after her grandfather, so that was like taken care of. But I was like, but my favorite girl name is Nikki, but like I like it for like it's always thought it was the sexiest name, so I'm like it definitely can't be Nikki because that's like
you don't want to mix.
I can't name my daughter like a sexy name. What
Nikki
Oh,
is
well,
a
that's
nice
just-
name.
I think
I like
there's
that.
no
Yeah.
like I would date a girl like based
Just based on her
You
name.
know what name I
Nikki.
like? I like Charlie. Like I think Charlie.
Yeah.
As a good
As a girl?
female name.
Yeah.
I know a Charlie.
That's
Girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the Charlie. I like that. I think that's a great name for. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I always.
Do you
liked
like
that name.
men's names for women? Is that
No, I don't. But that one is a specific.
Ryan's a popular
Ryan's a good one? Yeah.
One. What girl's named
This
Ryan?
girl's named Ryan.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the a woman named after, but it can go both ways.
Do you think it's gonna turn into where it's just
Nikki could be
gender
both ways too,
neutral
kind
names
of.
for people, so they don't have to worry about the name change as they get older?
You think it's gonna be what?
Do you think gender neutral names are gonna come more into play as people don't
Yeah,
want to
maybe, yeah.
tempt?
That could be.
Yeah.
Like, good. If you're a boy or a girl, this name works.
Yeah, but it's not like they're still gonna want to change their name.
Why though? If
Because-
the name is a gender neutral name, why
Well, if
not?
you really want to be really progressive, just make your name just like I'm a woman, but my name is Zach.
Yeah, well,
Like you're gonna tell me that Zach's not
Yeah,
a woman's name?
fuck you, it's now a feminine
I still
name.
feel like Zach, but I feel like a woman. whose
Yeah,
name
I'm
is Zach.
feminizing Zach.
Zach. What a name.
I know a lot of feminine Zachs.
But it sounds like a Batman sound effect.
It does. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ow, Zach!
that.
Pow, boom, Zach.
Yeah.
I
It
love
really
those.
is.
I used to always wonder, like, how bad is that as like a special effect? And then as I get older, I think it's one of the best special effects.
Like
The
first
old
Batmans?
Batmans
Yeah.
when they were they would just not show the hit. It would just like
Yeah.
like the cartoons.
It's a great way to get away
Oh,
with
not
it.
the cartoons.
I don't
the
think I ever
comics.
realized.
The comics.
I don't think I ever really realized that was probably why they did that, so they could not
So
make
they didn't have to
contact.
show violence,
Yeah,
and
and
get
it,
away
like,
with it.
yeah.
And then it was also
Yeah.
paying homage to the
comic books.
Comic
Yeah.
books.
Yeah,
I love that. I used to come home from I'm not a big superhero guy, but back then I used to love coming home and watching those that Batman.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah, what's it? The West.
I never got into them.
Just that one. I like that and the Michael Keaton Batman. Other than that, like I'm not interested in any superheroes.
Batman is the only like comic book character that I genuinely will watch everything of his.
Yeah.
Like he's my guy. I can care less about Spider-Man's. I don't get.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't Marvel. None of that.
Oh, it's true, 'cause
Batman's my
actually,
guy.
yeah, I did watch the last Batman. I thought it was really good too.
With Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I still haven't
Yeah.
watched that. Looked good. See the Batman one. I do. I that's the one I
I
would
like
say.
Batman because it's not realistic, but it is
I
realistic.
was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not a made up thing.
Superpowers.
It's like a real.
It's a real story and something that could, in theory, a guy could be that.
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But
There's no. It's not a mirror. There's no.
with that much
miracles or
money,
no
with all the armor,
fantasy
like
stuff.
it, in theory, it's
Yeah.
not unrealistic.
100%. That's why I like it.
And a shitty city that we live in, basically. It's
Yeah.
like Gotham is New York
Right.
City.
That does make sense. Yeah, because the whole some stuff it takes me out of it when it's like a little too.
Completely- Yeah.
Well, that was so going back to Seinfeld. He liked Superman because Superman, he said, was the only superhero that was born with the powers that he just because he. So
Every
I
hero
can
was
kind of
always, and that was his look on society, though. That he was like, that's
Yeah.
how he saw people.
yeah
Oh,
It's like
really?
This little cornball, like
Yeah.
he's this big,
yeah
Every other superhero always is, they're like a person who turns into their superhero. He's a superhero who turns into a regular person. It's just disguise.
Wait, Spider-Man was born into that?
no Superman.
Superman. Superman.
So he was because he was born on another planet.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he just came here with the something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't even know how he turned in the full story, but
Hey,
they
whatever.
think they talk about that in one of Tarantino's movies.
Oh,
Could
really?
be- yeah, it's just like a conversation in one of like the not like it, but they talk about it in one of the combos. I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember.
All right,
But
so-
yeah, so I do have a game.
Yeah, let's hear your
yeah,
game.
you to give us a text today. You said you want to make us look stupid on the podcast or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, I didn't want to make you guys look stupid, but
He already on the way here, but this is what I can't stand about what he does. He like if I have a story that I want to tell on the podcast, I don't say anything, and because I want to see what you guys think.
Yeah,
He sends it out to multiple people who will listen to the podcast. So like
That's
even
not true.
even with the game, he sent it out to a bunch of people already.
the game itself.
The game
well,
itself,
because I like to see because they're not people who are going to listen.
he can't
But I want to know if it's too easy because I've had games where I've come out and they're like, this is like way too easy.
Can I tell him what your bonus question was? It's not a bonus question anymore.
Yeah, go for it.
What was his favorite
I thought that
year
was
in the
funny.
90s? What? How are we supposed to know your favorite year?
And you got it right.
Out of nowhere.
And in the car, he got it right.
I got it.
93.
No,
94.
And I said it because B, like when I said the reasons why, you like made more sense to you. You know me.
It did, but it's
You
such
don't
an
know me
odd
at
question.
all.
I just
So
assumed that's
recently.
when Wu Tang
was-
Yeah.
36
it was-
Chambers came out. I mean,
See that makes sense. I went 94, but it was a total guess, and what was the Knicks?
The Knicks, the OJ case.
The
and
OJ.
I was
the
I
Knicks,
remember
the
whenever I
OJ.
stayed home from
And-
school, I would watch that case, and it was just I was infatuated with it.
I love that year when that white woman got murdered.
We
White
love
woman in the
murders.
I do love murders. I'm good. I'm a big crime.
He
guy.
was watching what was the movie you were the TV show you were watching this week, and you like it was like Missing, Lost, and Found, and you're like, I don't like it. They're all being found.
So they had this show that just came out on Netflix, and it was called Missing, Dead or Alive.
Yeah, and too many people were alive.
They had, I think, one person out of the 4 cases was dead. Everybody was alive, which is like, okay, I get it, but like, you should have just said missing then, because none of them are dead. They're all alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't say dead or alive and get me
Yeah,
thinking there's gonna be a lot of murders and crazy
Yeah.
stories. I want the
right.
craziness.
He likes crazy.
But so I got a '90s pop culture
All
quiz
right.
for you guys.
Give us
and I'm
this
excited
quiz.
For this. I think
Okay,
you
can I-
guys
How's this?
are-
How is this breaking down here?
I'm just gonna ask a question to each of you. I'll ask it, and you can each answer it. One person answers, then you
Back and
answer.
forth.
Okay.
Okay. Did you come up with these questions, or you look up? Did you look up?
No,
trivia
I didn't look up
questions and,
any
like,
of these.
compile-
Me and Pat Dunn did.
Oh,
I
great.
will give him credit. He helped me a lot with some of the questions.
Okay, so
I'm
like,
going to ask you each the same question.
are we
you
able
each
to
give an answer, and I'll
what
tell you if
what
you both are
he,
right.
he knows and I know?
You each get to give an answer before
Okay.
I tell you if it's right. So you won't know if it's
right.
right until you
Okay.
both give me
I
an
got you.
answer.
All right, fair enough.
You could obviously say the same thing, but
Yeah.
so let's start off with a little music one. Who was the first band to win a Grammy for hard rock or heavy metal?
I think I know this.
I'll let the newcomer Brian go first.
Jethro Tull.
Brendan Ryan, what do you think?
I think that's probably it. I'll say Guns N' Roses.
Don't look. It is Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I never listened to Jethro Tull, and I
Yeah.
thought he was I thought it was a solo act.
You thought it was a guy named Jethro Tull?
Yeah, like I thought it was
so
a
did I, for
country
years.
singer,
I mean,
Jethro
I
Tull.
learned that years later that it wasn't, but I thought for the longest time
So did
because
I.
it definitely
I never
sounds like
gave
a
him
guy
shot.
named.
It sounds like a country
Yeah.
singer.
I don't know Jethro Tull at all.
It's not heavy metal at all. That was like the reason I know that is because it was like an outrage that they won that because they weren't.
Really? See, I didn't know the background to this. I just, I saw that, and
Yeah.
that's a interesting one. I didn't
That
know who
is
Jethro Tull was.
What's their biggest song?
Yeah.
It's very famous. I can't think of it now.
All right.
Would I know? We would
Yeah,
know
you
it.
Yeah, you would know.
We'll
it,
listen to
It's
it on
one
the
of
way
those
home.
songs- yeah,
We'll pop on Jethro Tull.
We're
on
gonna,
the
we're gonna
way
listen to a
home.
little Jethro Tull
Yeah.
on
Put it on
the.
now. Just put it into the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could find it, do
If you
it,
could
and
find
we'll
their
clip it
biggest
in.
hit.
Yeah. You're gonna know it immediately. And
What year was it? Do you know?
something lung.
Oh,
Something
I
lung?
didn't. I knew that I had the year. I didn't look into it. I didn't write it down. That's one. I actually made sure I wrote down some of the back information.
Aqua lung. Yeah, aqua lung.
Oh, I know.
This is them?
Yeah,
I know the.
but then it gets like really soft. So it starts heavy like that because like you think it's gonna like be metal. So it's almost
Yeah.
like somebody listens like the first few seconds and like
And they
this.
gave
Is,
you
this
sugar.
is
Hey,
it.
give
this
him
is
the
yeah,
award.
yeah.
All right, so Ryan's got one.
All right.
And B, you should have just went with it if you thought that was it.
I should have, but I was, taking
Number
a chance.
2, another music question.
Right.
This is the easiest question I think you're gonna get. What R&B duo was the first group to have their Grammy taken back? B will go first on this one.
2 Live Crew.
No, to get the Grammy taken away. That's your.
R&B duo to have a Grammy taken away. I really don't know this one.
Interesting. I thought this was the easiest one.
I have no idea. I said 2 Live Crew because I know they had bikinis on their
Yeah, but
CD
there
cover.
was no way they won a Grammy. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
guess they didn't win a Grammy.
I would have to say Casey and JoJo because it's the only other R&B duo that I can think of.
Milli Vanilli.
Oh,
You remember
and
that?
I don't think of them as an
Girl,
R&B
you know
duo.
Girl, you know
Yeah.
it's. They
That's
kept on
right. I was just
skipping on stage.
Man.
I just heard something about them too.
See, I just wasn't thinking.
And then
Milli
after
Vanilli.
they lost the Grammy and everything, that whole shit happened. They went on a talk show and tried to show that they actually had like decent voices.
That's so pathetic because I just watched a documentary about Clive Davis, which I actually didn't like a lot, but he was the guy who he signed them.
He's a piece of shit, in my opinion.
Dude, I didn't like that at all. I watched him go.
I know exactly what you watched because I watched it.
Yeah.
and I wasn't a big Clive
like-
Davis guy.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I
Why?
hate-
What was his deal?
He just signed a lot of big acts, but I hate these record producer people or like these heads of record labels that take credit for music. Like, dude, you did nothing. Like you,
Yeah.
you found a couple of good artists. Great, they were the talented ones.
Right.
You
Exactly.
signed
He
them.
didn't
Big
produce
deal.
the music. He
Yeah.
didn't do
And
anything.
then it would say like, oh, he told them to do this instead of that, and it was a big hit. Okay, but you don't know what it could have been if he didn't do that. It could have
Well,
been.
yeah.
Even, It could have been even
Could have
a
been
bigger. hit.
bigger.
Like, you don't know
Clive.
that. Yeah.
And it's not that I think, but I'll give him credit for the eye of like talent and seeing when tapping into what may sell. But he didn't
Yeah.
do
And
anything.
he seemed like a little he was talking around himself, just like arrogantly.
He's not like he's like Jimmy Iovine who gets whatever. He worked with all these bands. He produces the music.
Right.
Helps them.
He was just like,
songs.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them in a booth. Yeah.
Clive Davis isn't playing any
And then they're
instruments,
going on
doing
about like some of
nothing.
the acts, like one of his biggest acts was Barry Manilow. I said, okay, so
Yeah.
he was successful, but let's not act like Barry Manilow is
Oh,
a cornerstone of music.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
By the way, Clive is not a name you hear often these days.
No.
Nobody's naming their
just
kids
Clive,
Clive.
Davis and Clive Owen are the only two Clives I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah,
That's
I
it for
watched
the
that. They were,
Clive.
they were in that, but
Yeah.
and still nothing.
I love watching the video when it started skipping and then they just run off stage.
Yeah.
That is a great clip.
It is. So the next question, number 3. So right now it's 1 Ryan, 0 to B. June 17th.
The way he says that, I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like the way
it's an attack.
I feel attacked.
June 17th, 1994. What 3 major events were going on at the same time?
God.
There was a documentary on this on ESPN. So
I know
that'll
it.
be the only hint I give you.
I think I know 2 of them.
I'll give you guys credit for the answer.
I know
if
what
you
it
know
is.
2 out of 3.
You don't have to give me credit. I know what they are.
You know all
So,
3.
yes.
I
I
should
guarantee
probably-
you don't know one.
I should probably answer them first.
Yeah, I'll let you
and
go
And I'm
first.
taking a total guess here.
Okay.
Like I don't even know, because I feel like there was like a World Series, an earthquake, and then something else was happening on the same day.
That
I don't
happened
know.
on the same day, but that's
That's not
this.
what it is. All right, that's
Well,
my
you're
only
not
guess.
supposed to tell.
No, I can tell.
O.J. Simpson,
Yep.
Arnold Palmer's last game,
That's the one I didn't think you were going to get.
and the Knicks in the playoffs.
Yes. So when
Who gives a
OJ,
fuck about the other 2.
well, the whole thing was when OJ was on his like
There
his
was a
chase
30
was
for
going
30
on.
about this.
I know. That's where I got. That's why I did the question. Does that bother you?
Does that
You
bother
think
you?
everybody's
The one
watched
question-
that 30 for 30?
The one question that I know, it does bother me.
But that's the only reason you know
yeah,
it.
but that's I didn't know it.
So what happened was when OJ got caught and he went on the whole chase,
Yeah.
they cut off like the final round of the U.S. Open was going on, and so was the Knick game. And it was like game 3.
I don't know what
Pretty
game
sure
it
it
was,
was game
but I
3.
remember being pissed because I was watching
and
the
we were
Knicks.
watching the Knick game, and they cut it. Like they cut the games. They didn't
You're
stop the
forgetting-
games. They just cut everything.
You didn't think I know Arnold Palmer.
I didn't think you were gonna know the Arnold Palmer.
You're forgetting the
I
fourth.
didn't know the. I watched that, and I remember. What did I said something else.
I love Arnold Palmer's iced tea, so that's how I know that. I'm a big fan of
I
his
forgot
tea.
that he was still playing golf in 1994.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Well, that was it.
You're forgetting the 4th one though, which was that Ryan Chronopoulos was playing at Doubleday Field up by
Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
With his name on the back of the
With his
jersey.
name on his, from one side of the dugout to the other.
That's why I was like pretty like wrapped up in that, so I wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention.
you
to
had
all
other
that
things
stuff.
No,
going
you were
on.
Yeah,
basically
I was playing in the
you were
big
you
time
were
yourself.
basically
I was playing in the Little League World Series up by the Hall of Fame. So it's gonna do my own sports thing. At the time.
That's pretty legit there.
Well, here's the thing, though, and this is, I don't want to off track. So
You do.
I was on the team that like that was supposed to be in the Little League. Like I was representing Suffolk County for the Little League World Series, whatever. But I had gotten like really fat by then, so I was friends with everyone on the team because I'd been playing with them for so long, and I had the catcher's gear, so they just like kept showing up because I was like comic relief on
Just
the bench.
didn't play. Just like hung out.
Yeah, so I was like really fat.
That's the
at time.
best.
Yeah, and then I was catcher, and they put me in for a little bit, and the backstop, like a double, it's like a real field.
Yeah.
It's like a major league field. If I was so determined to not let a ball pass me because I had to like
Run the
get
whole.
up, I would just, a ball pass me, I would just be like, go around inside the park.
All right, I give up.
Yeah,
That reminds
Wait,
me.
you got fat within
Wow.
2 years?
like on an off season.
Really?
Yeah.
The next year it came back and his
Coach
last
is
name was
probably like,
straight.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, I came back and Frank. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Looks like John Crook out there. With
You know, what's funny is that my father showed me a tape of my swing and how slow it was. I used to have like a fast swing. I was, you get fat, you
Yeah.
can't swing. And I was watching myself. I'm like, oh my god, look how slow my
He's like,
swing
look at
is.
you become.
But then I was like, I didn't even realize. And the next the time I got up, I had a double because I was like, I need to start swinging the bat like with some effort. I was just didn't. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was going on that's why I don't know your answer.
And that's when your dad made you change your last name.
yeah.
Yeah, give me that name back.
It's time.
You ever want to put your name as Brooke? You think?
Yeah. It's just easier to fit on
It's
your
less expensive at the store.
Yeah.
fits better on your fat back.
Yeah, I give you two options: change your name or lose 100 pounds. You can do one or the other.
Although Chronopoulos would look better on a fat body than a
It
skinny
would,
body.
yeah.
Yeah, more room. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely more room.
yeah, it would be a straight line. You know?
Straight up. All right, last. Not
This is
last.
it?
No, we have 10. I don't know why I said last. Question number 4.
He's so-
I almost
He
said
is
last,
a-
but not
Next.
least. Next.
This one's least but not last. All right, this one's not very good. So least but not
No,
last.
I like this one. What popular sitcom aired its final episode on August 19th, 1993, with 42.4 million people watching? No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know it, but I'm gonna guess. Cheers.
Cheers.
Boom. Nice.
You know I'm a Cheers guy.
Cut it. That was so. I used to love that show so
It
goddamn
was
much.
such a great
Yeah.
show.
I tried to rewatch every episode of Cheers when Netflix first came around, and I only made it to season 3. But man,
Was it because we weren't enjoying it, or you just like?
I would watch it right before bed, and once I get into my bed, like I'm not somebody that, I don't have any sleeping issues, like this guy, but like I once I hit the bed. Pillow, I'm out. So like I'll usually watch now it's YouTube. Like I fall asleep to a YouTube thing, but for a while it was Cheers.
Yeah.
And I'd be
My
out.
issue isn't falling asleep. It's that I get up constantly.
Right.
But
What are you watching on YouTube when you fall asleep, though?
Lately it's been a lot of Opie and Anthony stuff, like the old I don't know,
Patrice was on.
Howard Stern stuff. I like old radio stuff. I'm a radio person.
Yeah.
I can't stop doing it. I can't.
I love
Dude,
that's a new thing now. It's
I love. That's why I love podcasting, because I love talk radio. Like it's all I listen to.
yeah.
So
That's so funny. Yeah, me too. Like I sometimes feel like I'm more of a fan. Like even with comedy, like I've always felt like I was more of a fan than anything. But yeah, I grew up. Opie and Anthony and
so much.
Bennington was my
Bennington. See, I listened to some. I was listening to some old Ron and Fez stuff too.
Yeah,
which
that's why I started.
which was really good. But yeah,
I have like 11 years of Ron and Fez archives.
Do you
on my
really?
computer. Like if I'm driving Uber, I do Uber once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
that's
Remember
right.
you picked me up.
That's right. That's how we met. That's how we met.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. I'll listen to old Ron and Fez while I'm driving around.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff on there.
All right,
Yeah.
so we are 3-3.
He's not interested in this
No,
conversation.
I didn't know. I've never listened to that. That's the only reason why I had no idea.
Yeah, it was just like when podcasting came around, I was like, "This is great!" Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is- Like I loved it. I was.
I always tell him he's got to listen more to
I should listen to more.
because
My issue is I don't listen to anything religiously. I listen to certain things that I want to, like a guest or like an episode that I want to listen
I
to.
had an idea. I wanted to do a podcast with a buddy of mine where we just talked about the podcast that we listened to. Because like some shows have like after shows.
I think that's not a bad idea.
I'm like, I just wanted to like pick 5 shows, and like the listeners would have to listen to those 5 shows, and you just talk about the shit that happens in the 5 shows.
not a bad idea.
Yeah,
But actually, you're contractually obligated to just talk about this show. We don't want you talking about any other show. We don't want you on any other podcast. You're our guy.
I have a no. There's a no
There's
compete.
no compete clause.
That's it.
So yeah, we got a tie game, 3-3.
Is that what it is? 3-3.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, 2-2. 2-2. I'm sorry.
He's not been counted.
2-2.
It's
Write
actually
it down.
7-1.
No, it's
Do you
2-2.
want me to write it down?
No, I know. I have it.
Okay.
You got the first one right. B got it wrong. You both got 2 wrong. B got 3 right, and you both got 4 right. So 2-2. Sticking in 1993, what actor had 3 major box office hits? Actor. 3 big hits, 1 year. Who wants to go first? Does anybody want to go first?
I feel like I know it.
So then we'll let B go first.
I feel like I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
I know what you're thinking.
you want to go at the same time? No, B, go first. All right, Ryan, go first because you actually have a guess and
I do
he's
have a
lying.
guess. Were you lying about having a guess?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna take my guess when you hear it.
Uh-huh.
Like Jim Carrey.
I'm trying to look him in his eyes because he gives like a twinkle of the right answer. I've noticed, but I didn't catch it in time.
Terrible host.
Yeah,
It's a terrible quality in a host.
God, was it? Now we went through Tom Hanks's whole everything Tom Hanks did,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think what he did. 94. It was.
But 3 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Is
That's
nuts.
actually pretty crazy.
Sylvester Stallone.
Really?
okay.
Well, you just told me it's not.
It's not. It is Jim Carrey.
It is Jim Carrey.
Can you name those movies?
Of course.
Oh, this is why I love him.
Yeah,
The Mask.
Well, yeah, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't sure if Cable Guy was in there instead of
No.
which one?
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. Because
You can't. I mean, I love Jim Carrey.
oh, he's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, and
He
even
is.
as dramatic, like I told, like Eternal Sunshine is like my favorite movie, but
I'm a huge.
Everyone.
I like the movie. I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't love that.
I think
But even
three
his comedy.
times you've brought up Eternal Sunshine on this podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Since you've been on it.
yeah, I'm
It's
kind
like
of
me with the
obsessed with it.
Burbs.
Yeah.
I have the script. I have the shooting script of it in the over there somewhere in those books.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Somewhere in there is the shooting script for Eternal Sunshine.
Huh.
Maybe not showing.
I thought you were gonna at least steal his answer when he said it.
You know what? I was
Stop change. Like if you think it's it, go with it.
no, but I didn't think it was it until he said it, and then
That's
I
why
feel
I wanted you to go first, but you lied, and then I had to go back to him.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. You know,
Ryan 3, B2,
What's your favorite of those movies?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dude, I love Pet
Can I explain
Detective.
why
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber holds up the most today?
Does I think so too.
I think The Mask to me was one of my least favorite out of the ones he did. If Cameron Diaz wasn't such a smoke show in that movie,
Yeah.
I don't think that movie it was
Yeah.
okay, but I didn't love that. Ace Ventura, I watch now and I still think it's funny, but you have to be a child, I think, to enjoy some of the
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is still the funniest.
It's by far
I
the
think at the
funniest.
time Ace Ventura I thought was the funniest, but looking back now
It's
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
I think that's because as you get older, Dumb and Dumber becomes even
A
funnier.
little dumber.
Yeah,
But I think it gets funnier
It does.
as Ace Ventura gets cornier.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's still good.
It is. I went on my first date I ever went on was to see The Mask, by the way, and I'll never forget this. The girl was it was me, the girl I went on a date with, and her friend.
You always need the friend.
Always need the friend.
Early child.
Yeah.
thing.
And she did this move where she, you're sitting in the movie theater, and I guess her friend said, "Would you mind if this person held your hand during the movie theater?" Like it was almost like she had like a manager there. Like,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
but she did this move where like the hand just kept going like this.
And then eventually you hear it.
And eventually my hand, I'm like, should I put my hand? So my hand was like right here, and then one finger just clasped,
That's hilarious.
and then finally by the end it was like this.
Yeah, you really held hands. A really warm embrace.
Yeah, it was great.
You technically held hands. but it
So,
was-
so what I'm trying to say is I don't remember The Mask at all. I was focused on just trying to hold this woman's hand.
That'll
This
happen.
woman, this 12-year-old girl.
Your 6-finger clench.
Yeah, dude, there was probably 12 to 15 minutes that her hand was just here and like just waiting for.
It's so funny. Everybody's been there.
have you gained any confidence?
No,
since
I'm
then?
still there. it literally still takes the
got any
same
better? Yeah.
amount.
He still brings girls to the movies and does that hand move.
Yeah. He's like,
Look how nervous. Oh, he's got rough hands.
yeah.
You,
Working man's hands.
you have working man's hands. Oh,
He's like, I learned this move in the 6th grade. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
I've been skin touching since '93. So yeah, I don't remember The Mask much.
Yeah, that happened.
It's so true because you were definitely sweating balls.
Oh,
doing that.
oh my god. And I was like, do I kiss her afterwards? I'm like, it was terrible. Nothing much has changed.
I had that same thing too with my first girlfriend. I discussed with her friends like she wants to kiss you in the hall after whatever period.
Yeah.
And we would like just met up. So like my first girlfriend I hardly even spoke to. Like
Yeah, you don't.
we were just like we just had agreed through our friends that we were dating. That was it.
It's all a negotiation through other people.
Yeah.
It is.
And
It
you're
really
like, I
is.
guess this is what
Yeah.
we've been told to do now.
Yeah.
I just would love to have been that girl watching you guys with your hand. All right. So we're going to take it a year back to 1992.
I love his excited voice.
And he's trying to really sell the host. But I'm taking it back to 1992.
Yeah. But
What
there's no
icon released a coffee table sex book titled Sex?
an icon.
An icon.
What kind of icon are we talking about?
Musician, actress.
Yeah.
So it's not Kramer.
Never got that
Do
off
you
the
know
ground.
this one?
I think so.
So you got to go with you first, because I'm confident that he's
I
going to
also,
know.
I'm not sure. I might be getting two things mixed up. So
Oh,
I'm
he
not
also
sure.
does have a computer in front of him. I'm not saying he's
and you can
cheating.
clearly see.
I'm just saying he's got access to the internet, and I don't.
I just found out the answer to this question 2 weeks ago. Just coincidental.
Elle McPherson.
Is that a real and final answer?
I see. I don't like the way I'm.
Because I never know if you're going to give me an answer and then take it back. Is that your final answer?
Not now. Now I don't feel confident.
B, pick at somebody.
You're a terrible
I'll
host.
pick at somebody.
He's
Yeah,
a
you pick
terrible
at
host.
somebody.
See, like if I was hosting and I said Elle Mc,
B, my response should not dictate your...
but it does because I
That's
know.
on you. That's
Okay.
because you're not comfortable and confident in your
I'm going to
answers.
say Elle McPherson, the table queen.
I'm going to say Madonna.
I know that's it.
That's it. Madonna did have
They
that
both have
book.
blonde hair though.
What did you think you were mixing up?
I knew that she had a book out
Okay.
about sex. I didn't know if it was a coffee. I didn't think it was a coffee table book.
Yeah, it was just a quick. I haven't read the book or seen the book, but I want to. That's like on my. I might get that book soon.
All right, we'll buy that for you.
Madonna's Book of Sex.
Because
She
I
was
think
the
she
best.
put out a video around the same time that was banned. Like she was like really leaning into the sexy stuff.
Wait, which video got banned?
I think since it's like been
Back.
back, but
She had a lot of. She was the best back in the day. Now she's like grotesque. She didn't age well.
Yeah. She's British now.
Well, listen, some of them got hotter. Look at Shakira getting older and like she's getting better with age.
Yeah,
So-
she's
J Lo's still killing it.
so are you. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, no, you are.
So anywho,
His segues are
4-2
best in the game.
That's all I know.
Pat Sajak, Turner.
That's hey Jack, watch out.
Fat station.
That might be better than Cold Stone C1.
All right, Pat Sajak. Give us.
It's too obvious.
That's the name of this episode. Oh, love it. I was gonna say anywho again. Next question. So, who had the most charted hits on Billboard in the '90s? Musician.
I think I know.
Do you?
In the 90s.
Now this is just, and when I say charted hits, it's they have anything that's basically I guess hit the Billboard top.
I have
100.
two people I have in mind.
Yeah,
I have a top five list.
I have two people in mind too.
But who wants to go first?
I have two people in mind, and I feel like you're a little more confident with it, so I'll go first.
All right.
The two people. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have Mariah Carey.
Who's
Who's
your second?
your
one?
second?
Whitney Houston was my second.
Whitney Houston.
Wow. Now you both are correct. It was Mariah Carey, but I actually had the top 5, and I was a little surprised myself. Whitney was number 4.
Really?
Really?
Janet Jackson was number 3,
Janet Jackson.
and Madonna
yeah.
was number 2.
Oh, this is a
Guess
heavy
who
Madonna.
number 5 was? I just curious. I'm gonna go
Celine
back.
Dion.
Not a female. It's a R&B artist.
Boys to Men.
Solo.
Solo artist.
They were 6. Boys to Men was 6.
Oh.
Boys to Men, Motown Philly. When I don't know how old when you were growing up, but
Yeah.
that was everybody did that for the talent show. Motown Philly.
I have a
Everybody
video of
did
my
Motown Philly.
brother-in-law doing that.
It was like
yeah.
10
Yeah.
acts, 6 of them were Motown
Did the
Philly.
dance and everything.
Yeah.
Babyface.
Good guess, but not. I found this hysterical. Is the only reason why I'm bringing it up. R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but
I didn't
loved
think
him,
R.
man.
Kelly had that many 90s. I thought he was
90s,
still
that's
early 2000s to where you're number 5 on the most chart.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
pumping them out.
I mean, he really was.
I bet you Whitney Houston outsold. Like she
Yeah,
probably
I
she
didn't-
probably
I
had the,
didn't
she
look
probably
gross.
she probably didn't have
Yeah.
the number of hits, but she probably heard
That
stuff
I
more.
actually, but she also had a ton in the 80s too. That I
Yeah.
think she was like,
Right.
Madonna was the end of the 80s. But Whitney
that
was like,
that was Clive Davis's big.
that was
Yeah.
his
That was
guy.
like that. Yeah, she was a big part of that documentary because that was his
Mariah
was
or
Whitney.
Whitney?
That was
Whitney
his
was
biggest
like,
find.
yeah. But look how she ended up, Clive Davis.
Mariah was Tommy Mottola, right?
Yeah, Mariah
Oh,
was
yeah.
Tommy Mottola Sony.
She dated him, right?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
married. She was married to him, and then
Married to
then
him.
she was. Then she got gangster, and that's when she was all with the rappers and the R&B. Like she was out.
Yeah.
Honey got me hooked on
I think ODB probably ruined that relationship.
You think ODB was with Mariah?
No, but I'm just joking.
Did you ever hear that he wasn't supposed to be on that song? He just showed up to the wrong studio that day.
No, he was supposed
That's
to be.
hilarious.
Well, I mean,
But no, I might be getting confused. There was another. He was on 2 like R&B songs at that
okay,
time,
who?
and there was maybe it was one of
Maybe
the 2.
the other one,
of the 2.
Mariah.
He wasn't.
Specifically, they
Yeah.
wanted him.
So there was another song around that time that ODB was on. And,
He was great on that.
Yeah, he was
One
great.
Mariah
He
song.
actually really was great.
Me
in
and
that.
Mariah.
Yeah. So
By the way, if we did our rap battle and did
5-3, by the way.
if we did Old Dirty Bastards rap, we would get ridiculed.
Yes,
Me and
Because
Mariah
his
go
whole
back
thing-
like babies
yeah,
and
but he's just
pacifiers.
ODB
But
is
yeah,
different.
I know,
he
but
gets a pass for just
he
being
does get a pass.
a true original.
But
yeah.
you know,
I also feel like, by the way, I practiced after that. I was in my head rapping it. I'm like, I feel like if I would have sold it better, I would have done much better in the polls.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
All of
It's
us,
all
all
about,
of us,
It's all
yeah.
about delivery.
You laughed at yourself. Mid,
Yeah,
mid,
you have to have the
mid-line.
confidence.
Yeah.
Like rap is all about confidence, and we were
about
like, so, and then I say,
yeah, that's so true.
yeah,
It really is. So, all right. So we're gonna get a little dark here.
oh,
Uh-oh.
geez, somebody
Oh,
died.
boy, here we
Somebody
go.
died. Which death?
Who committed the 1993 World Trade Center bombing? There's 2 guys. I'll give you that much. Honestly, I realize this is a tough one. I should have made this the bonus.
I mean, I feel like anybody should know that. I'm not saying I do, but I feel like I'm embarrassed that I don't know because it wasn't.
I feel like I am embarrassed. I'm
So,
with you
I
where
have-
I'm embarrassed that I don't
Yeah,
know
I mean,
it.
I have a guess. I mean, but I only have one name. I didn't know there was 2 names associated.
Yeah,
with it.
I have a guess, but I don't want it to come off as like a racist thing.
Guess, please guess. Be first.
I have no. Honestly, I have
You
no.
better give me the guess. We know it's not racist.
Well, no. When I say I don't have a name, but I have a. Like I feel like it's a.
You feel like it's what? Now you're coming on.
I feel like it's an Italian.
No, stop. No, it's not.
It's not. Well, you
was-
laughed that off. I honestly.
This isn't domestic terrorism. This isn't OKC. We're talking about the WTC.
Yeah. Dude, I don't have a name.
Okay. So B just doesn't want to answer.
So
Not that I don't want an
this
answer.
is the original, the World Trade Center,
the original
the
1993.
It was Jimmy McGovern. I have no. I like.
I know you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, what was Ted Kaczynski? Was the
Was the
Oklahoma City?
No, Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber.
Oh, the Unabomber.
Mm.
Oh, okay, that's
Timothy
the name.
McVeigh was the OKC.
Timothy McVeigh. All right.
Give us
Yeah.
a name, Ryan.
I
I get
I
ridiculed.
didn't
because I'm not-
realize. I should have realized this is extremely tough because I'm obsessed with shit like this, and I had no idea who they
I'm
were.
trying to remember if Biggie says it when he says "blow up like the World Trade."
He just says
He
blow up.
No, they took that off the radio edit too after the World
I know,
Trade
but they
Center.
didn't say the name of the
Yeah.
dude or.
No, I know. His
Ladies-
all right, so tough question, guys. Sorry, there's got to be one hard one. Ramzi Youssef and Ayad Ismail.
I've heard
I've-
Randy.
They were both
I don't remember
charged
that at
and,
all.
Like, tried, so like
Yeah.
that was a kind of a big deal. But all right, that was a tough one.
Way to go.
So it's still 5-2 in favor of Ryan.
How many questions left? Is there a
So
possible?
that was number 8. We got 2 more and a bonus, but
he-
it doesn't look like B's going to make it to the
Doesn't
bonus.
look like it.
We got to do Ron and Fez rules. Is he would do no matter if they did one of these on the radio.
No matter what, you do the
No ma-
bonus.
The last question, no matter what, was enough points for the person who's
Okay,
losing
we
to
can
get.
do
That's
that.
a good
back.
idea.
Yeah.
Highest grossing movie of the 1990s was
Titanic.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess that was in the 90s, right? Yeah, it's got to be Titanic.
Titanic
Yeah.
at 600 million.
Yeah.
But I get more because I said it first.
No, you still it's 6-4.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, but
you
I'm-
know what
but
was
I'm-
number 2, which was shocking to me? Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. I mean, it's not that surprising, but Jurassic Park was 3.
JP.
Interesting.
Jurassic Park came
Yeah,
out
we said
before
Jurassic Park.
Titanic, right?
Yeah, it must have been.
Because I'm
guess
pretty
so.
sure Jurassic Park had the record, and then
Yeah.
Titanic beat it, and then Phantom Menace.
By the
But
way-
that's because Phantom Menace had all that marketing.
By the way, I would love to see the Titanic thing in New York City.
What Titanic thing?
The Titanic exhibit.
So would I. I didn't know they had one.
It's out.
It was supposed to be in New York. It was supposed to end in New York City.
All right. So that we're
Number 10. What year did AOL introduce the buddy list chat?
I have a number in my
So
head.
I'm going to give B 3 points for this. Ryan 1 or 2 for B. Whatever. We're going to get to a bonus.
Is this the bonus?
No, this is the one
not
before the
Then
bonus.
let's just keep it regular.
This B gets it right, we go to the bonus, and you get it wrong.
You feel pretty good about yours?
I mean, I'm taking a guess.
Yeah. The buddy list.
Do you want me to
chat.
give you
No, I'm
years of
no.
other things
No.
introductions? So
no,
you
no,
kind of
no, no.
No.
okay.
Stop trying to give us the
I haven't given you
answers.
one hint.
I'm gonna say 1996.
That's what I was going to say. I swear to God.
Yeah.
You sticking with it?
96, 92.
What's your answer?
I'm trying to get a good gauge out of your
I was
eyes.
about to say what the answer
Yeah,
was.
it's 96.
It's 96.
96.
92 was the year that AOL went public. 95, they introduced
That's-
the
I was-
homepage.
I knew 92 they
96 was
went
the
public.
chat.
You knew that?
Yep, and 99 they
Go
had the
through the
web
trajectory.
browser.
Yeah, the 99, the web
Yeah.
browser. Everybody knows.
So we're gonna do the bonus anyway.
What year did they stop sending out the DVDs?
That was 2001.
So the bonus. You guys ready for this?
I don't
Ryan,
know.
good job. You beat the shit out of him.
What was the final score?
He got 7 out of the 10. You got 5 out of 10.
I mean, I wouldn't say he
You
beat
got a
the
50.
shit.
He got a 70. He passed, and you failed.
Okay.
But with the bonus, you could pass.
All right.
Who who earned the most plaques as a rap artist in the 90s with 7 platinum and 2 gold?
Tupac.
Biggie.
East Coast versus West Coast.
Tupac had the most plaques. Biggie grossed the most money.
What was the question?
Yeah, you
No,
got it.
you were right. You got it right.
Oh,
I had to, I just tactically I had to go with a different answer. Yeah.
so what were the final results?
He still wins.
Yeah.
I'm not giving that to that
I mean-
bonus. Should have never played into things. So you're out.
The
You
what?
Lost. The bonus should have never played
He
into
he
it.
regrets the bonus introducing.
You
that
regret
as
the
a
bonus.
Yeah.
But I think if we're counting the bonus, I think I won.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it depends on how much he assigned to the bonus. The,
bonus
was
was
one.
The bonus was 7 points.
He said 3, I believe.
No, it was
Okay.
1.
Interesting. All right.
but,
Well,
but usually a bonus has either like multiple answers to it. Like it's somehow harder than the rest. That was one of the easier ones. I think.
that was the probably
I should have did the World Trade Center one as the bonus.
Yeah.
That's my
because
fault.
nobody would have got.
But normally a bonus is like, how many of the top 10 of this can you name? You know, like something like that.
That's true. And see how many you can get. So
And then
Yeah.
it adds, and then it adds. And like, then it counts
that's
up.
a good way to do it. Now for the next game.
Oh, that's
Maybe the next one will do the 80s.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know the 90s for shit. That's what I realized. And
Me?
Ryan's pretty good.
I mean-
he did fine. It wasn't like
I got
he
6.
wasn't answering like Dolly Parton
No,
to some of them. He
that's true.
was in the ballpark
That's
most
true.
of the time.
That's
What was the
true.
final score?
He doesn't know.
He got 7. You got 5.
I got 6, including the bonus.
And he got 7.
So I'm 1 behind
All
him.
right, he still beat you by a lot.
By 1 question.
One is no different than beating you by 20.
Okay.
A win is a win is a win.
Sure.
So that was my game.
So
Disappointing.
not this week. We don't have enough time this week, but I found this is my year 1 comedy folder that I found when I was looking for my knock channel
Wow.
incense the other day. So these are all premises to jokes. Every one of these lines is a different premise to a joke. All these pages.
Can you give us one?
So yeah, I thought, well, I don't know, but this could be a segment because some of these might be good. I don't know. I truly don't know. I've read through them. Some of them are like, I was writing down everything that
popped in your head.
Everything
I'm
that came to my head.
I'm sure there's a lot that are
Everything
really
that came
good.
to my head, I thought.
You
oh,
used
this
to
could be
show
a
up to
bit.
like open mics with a folder.
Yeah,
Look at you.
yeah.
I like the folder idea because you could do loose
Look
leaf.
at this.
in
I have
there
I have a
as opposed to
fly. I
just
have a
book
flyer
that
for
gets
Long Island
screwed.
Comedy. Long Island Comedy Underground Bubbles at Chesterfields.
Chesterfields.
This was a set list from back in the day. Yeah, these are all premises right here.
Give us one premise right now.
All right, the first one is I want to make shoes that look like they're on backwards, but they fit right.
Definitely a feet one.
Of course, it's shoes. Wait, you want shoes that go on backwards?
No, they're like when you put them on right, but they look like they're on backwards. Like they look like they're on the wrong
The
feet.
shoe looks like it's
So people are like, "Oh, your shoes are on." No, they're not.
No, it's just the way
it's shoe. It's the design.
It feels like something Kanye would
Yeah,
do, like for real
I was
now.
literally about to say. I was like, that's
Yeah,
Kanye West has that in the books right now.
Yeah, so I mean, we can pull out one of these every week, and
we could start doing.
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be a Chick's pick and then a Ryan's year one comedy.
We could try to
trash.
punch up your jokes.
We could try and punch up the joke on
Yeah.
the.
But like some, I read a couple of them. Like, that's
What do
not
you
bad.
like, or do you want to save it?
I kind of like the shoe one. To be honest with you, I was disappointed it didn't go over, but no.
The shoe one's good.
Literally the next one. To be fair, we should just go like straight down the middle, so I don't like cherry pick them. This one was about confession. You go to confessions, and they tell you to say Hail Marys or Our Fathers, and it always sounds like play school, like elementary school playground mentality, like jinx and no backsies. It always seemed like it was made up. So like, all right, like, well, if you say Hail Mary, it goes away.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah,
That is a good. I do like that. That's a good find.
yeah.
I got some picks that I'll leave us with.
Oh, you do now.
They're fantastic movies. I had a great week of movie watching.
Mm.
The first one is called Stronger. It's on Amazon Prime, but it's coming to Netflix in June. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal. He plays this girl who's running in the Boston Marathon's boyfriend. It's a true story. Gets down by the finish line. He's one of the people who loses his legs in the attack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically his like recovery story. But he also helped them identify the bomber because when he snapped out of it, like when he came to like when he fucking came back to life, basically, he told them that he saw the killer.
He
and
died?
No. Well, he was like knocked out. He was like under all this shit. And then when he like, came back, got his senses about him,
Okay.
he was able to tell them what the bomber looked like.
Wow.
Even though they found the bomber through the whole thing, but
What do they say?
He just confirm. He
he
confirmed.
can help confirm it, yeah.
But you know how inaccurate sometimes those.
The drawings, like if
The eyewitness is like there's so many cases of eyewitnesses
Right.
being inaccurate.
oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't trust people. I don't trust it because I know when I'm in a situation, you could like detail certain things, but when people get so like, oh, they look this, that, and that, I'm like, no
Yeah,
way
but
you got that.
You
right.
get memories confused. Like think about you were arguing before about what your first podcast. If you had handheld mics,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you were certain about your memory about it.
Yeah.
And you so.
He should never be certain about any memory he
Yeah.
has, though, because
But all it takes is you saw that guy, but then you also went to 7-Eleven after that, and you saw a guy who did something else, and you remembered that guy's face, and then you just switched the
Swap 'em,
faces, and you
exactly.
just associate.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes. Like our brains are so faulty.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's why I never understood like eyewitness accounts, especially in when like something chaos is going on. People aren't that detailed. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
no.
I'm wrong.
I
but
wouldn't trust
No,
myself.
not I wouldn't trust myself at all. In like a time of like
Yeah.
crisis where
Yeah.
it's like I'm not like thinking about.
If I was sending somebody to jail for life, I wouldn't be like, "That's the guy." I'd be like, maybe.
I don't know.
If,
I
like,
was more
someone
concerned
asked me
about
to
my
describe
leg being
me,
on
I
the.
couldn't describe
Yeah.
his. I'd be like, he's bald. I couldn't even tell you his eye color until I'm looking at him.
What is my eye color?
Well, now I'm looking at it, it's like a light blue hazel.
It's blue.
It's not really. It's like a hazelish.
That's stronger.
So that's Stronger. It's on
Okay.
Amazon. It will be on Netflix.
All right.
The next one, my boy Tom Hanks did it again.
TH.
A Man Called
done it again.
Otto on Netflix
Oh, God.
is fucking awesome. Did you watch
Forrest Gump 2?
it? It's not Forrest Gump 2,
No,
but
I
it
didn't
was
watch it.
fantastic. He basically, this guy who loses his wife and he wants to basically off himself, but he has this neighbor who's like keeps on interjecting herself in his life, and he winds up developing a relationship with her and kind of pushing off.
Ricky
killing
Gervais
himself.
did a whole show about this on Netflix.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Life After Death.
Oh, that was amazing.
His
But he
wife-
didn't actually try and kill himself
Otto tried to kill himself.
numerous times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and every time
Throughout the whole movie,
well, 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Yeah.
what'd he do?
One was a hanging, one was carbon monoxide, and one was a shotgun.
This sounds hilarious. This movie.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
I loved it. I actually thought it was phenomenal. It actually
What
did have
happened? What
some
went
comedy.
wrong with the killing?
Something always happened where, like, I don't want to,
Yeah,
blow
you
everything.
don't
I've
wanna-
already said a
I
lot
just
about
watched a
it.
movie with Gerard Carmichael about suicide
Yeah.
called On the Count of Three, where him and a friend decided it's like one of the first scenes in the movie. One of the guys tried to kill himself, and the other one was like, "Yeah, I want to die too." So they were going to kill each other. So it was like they're in the parking lot holding a gun to each other, and they started. It was like 1, 2, 3, and like they shot. And they were going to shoot each other in the head. So
Don't tell me what happens. I'm going to watch that.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I would recommend it. Yeah, I will stand by that. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys ever, speaking of that, did you ever watch the show on Netflix where they try and see if they can get somebody to do something that they don't necessarily want to do, like pushing somebody?
Yes.
What's the name of that?
Oh, I forget what the name of it was.
Yeah. And it's a whole setup. Like they
It's a
bring
whole-
him in.
yeah, they-
There's like a waiter.
Yeah.
And like then they say, they
And
give
then
him a whole
eventually,
backstory.
and it's like you have to do, like, they see if these people do it.
Uh-huh.
And you can get the most normal person to pretty much do anything under
Yeah.
the right circumstances.
Sounds so familiar. I feel like I have seen this.
Because there's been a lot of stuff that's been done like this. I mean, they did the Stanford experiment where they had, I don't know, it was like 10 people, and they made 5 of them prisoners and 5 of them guards.
Yeah, that's
And then
right.
It's like how, even though these people didn't really even do anything wrong, you give people power and they just...
I wish I could say like I would be
Nobody
immune to
can
that,
say
but
they
I
wouldn't,
wouldn't.
because-
I know right away. I would just fall into whatever.
I'm not saying you would or you wouldn't, but I don't think anybody knows how they react until they're in the situation. It was like that shocking thing that I was telling you. Remember the one pick I had the other day about with the shocking experiments?
Yes,
From
yes,
was
yes.
the movie that it was a good one on HBO. But so the last one was Air, A Story of Greatness.
I want to watch this. Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. It was fucking awesome. Like, I was like, oh, I got 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. There's no way this movie is that good.
Critics or audience?
You know what? I saw an article that said one of the first ever one of the few hundreds on Rotten Tomatoes, and I didn't actually look if that was critics or
Yeah.
fans. It was awesome.
Maybe dig deeper next time.
Because audience 100 it means nothing to me because so many people are stupid.
People are just idiots.
Yeah, but also critics don't. Like there's always a critic.
I
that-
think critics also, they almost mean less to me because they try and
they try to be more interesting.
they try and be more interesting and sound like they know more than they do. Like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. Half the time at least. But I'm
Right.
basically giving picks like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
You're giving the everyman pick.
Yeah.
you know.
but Air,
People know
it was
you
funny.
don't know what you're
it's
talking
a great story. It's true. Like, it was pretty fucking accurate from what I gathered.
about. And Jordan isn't in it.
Jordan is not in it at all. You see the back,
But he
of his
doesn't need
head
to be.
twice. But it's not about him at all. It's literally about how Nike signed him and what they had to do to get him.
Because he was what a
So
Puma guy.
he was an Adidas guy.
Adidas.
And he wanted to sign with Adidas, but Converse was also one of the big brands that they had, like, everybody, but they didn't give people their own shoes. The big thing is that he got revenue stakes in the deal,
Interesting.
and nobody ever got a piece of the shoe.
Right.
Like, nobody ever got a piece of what was sold. So anything that had his name on it, he got a piece of. He winds up making $400 million a year from Nike.
Wow.
That's
Crazy.
when all was said and done. They said they never sold more than 3 million shoes the first year. He sold 126 million shoes.
Wow.
First year.
Jesus.
Wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing that was cool was
Marketing.
how they used the marketing of it being a banned shoe, because the NBA had rules that it couldn't be it had to be at least 50% white, and the colors were way off, but they did that on purpose,
And they would-
basically.
Would they pay the fines?
And they said they'll pay all his fines, but the fact that they had a whole commercial about it being banned, and it was like a huge
And
hit,
that made people want to.
and made everybody wanted the shoe because you couldn't
How
even
long
wear
is
it.
this movie? Is it
2 hours.
2
That's
hours?
straight 2 hours,
All right.
and it's like good. It's not like it's
I
a
could do
good
2
2
hours.
hours.
I could do 2 hours.
Yeah. So I stand by
Great.
that shit. That 100% rating, I'll fucking.
All right.
I
You answer the 100% rating. I like.
would. It was awesome.
I like it.
was.
I like
Yeah,
it a
I
lot.
think I'd like to watch that. Yeah.
I'm,
And that's
I'm-
the thing. If you're not a sports fan, it's an interesting, like, even from like a business standpoint, it's just an interesting story.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with the game. I mean, it does a little, but not really.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my picks.
Thank you.
Those are my picks in my game.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Well, Chick, you really guided this ship.
Yeah, you really. Yeah, you did producer credit for this. Got aboard a game show, put some picks.
Hey, you know,
It was
every
very
once in a while you got to
enjoyable.
bring something to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We haven't done a game in a while, and we never did one with Ryan.
that's true. We go game heavy every once in a while.
Okay. I'm
So
into
that,
it.
you know, we
I'm
like
normally
games.
terrible at.
You did
Games,
good. You
but yeah.
won.
This is a good one.
You
Oh,
guys
he
ever-
won
you-
by 1 point.
You guys ever played Ransom Notes?
No, what's that?
I never played that myself, but I bought it because it seemed interesting.
We
The
should
rid-
do something like this on the show.
The
So you
ridiculous word magnet game.
So you get a pile of words,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a message that you have to try to portray using the words that you have.
Dude, that is awesome.
We should do
Yeah.
this.
That's a fun party game.
There's an example on the back of it if you pull.
Do they
it's-
have like X-rated ones where it's like
I don't
raunchy
know.
words
You can make your own, really. I guess on the back, I think there's an example, and it's really funny.
on the back, B,
The back. You know what a back is?
the barcode?
Oh, shut up, you idiots.
Yeah.
Meet Ransom Notes, a creative part. Oh, okay. Ask a child in the airplane seat behind you to stop kicking. Young man, why foot enemy? I suffer. See, this is going to be fun.
You have to try to make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get what? Like everybody gets a bunch of
You
words.
just got
or
a
is
pile
it-
of
Oh, you pile them all up.
pile of words, and then you got to
That's
try to
fun.
make that sentence.
This could be a fun podcast.
That
Yeah.
could be a fun podcast. game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that.
I wanted to talk about. That's
Oh,
fine.
shit.
I'll fix that when you guys leave.
We'll took this
We'll
whole
sit
thing
down the
down.
hall.
I also it's kind of like a podcast trope now, but I wanted so I played with AI for the first time over the weekend. I've never done like the Chat GPT.
I was gonna say. So what is it like? What part of it were you using?
I was like giving it commands and stuff like that. So there's podcasts that are fully produced by AI. Like there's a you tell it to just write a joke and then the people just read off this AI stuff. So I was just with my family yesterday for Mother's Day, and I was trying to explain to them what AI is. So I pulled up an example and I said, "Write me a joke about barbecues in the voice of Sebastian Maniscalco."
No, it
and
didn't.
it did it, and it was actually pretty good. Yeah.
You know
Was
the
it?
thing about barbecues?
Yeah, so I did it in the voice too. Yeah, so but like it's so much fun, and I didn't want to like make it a thing because it's becoming very popular to do in podcasts, but it is also really funny.
That is fun.
So I mean,
What did it
when
say?
you say people, wait, they're doing
Should I
it
do
as
the
like,
joke?
yeah,
Should I do
let's
the
hear
joke?
what it
are
says.
they
Yeah, we're
saying it
running-
to be funny, or are they using
They're doing it in his
So yeah,
vernacular.
yeah,
No, but what I'm saying, when podcasts are using it, are they doing it?
yeah,
just,
they're doing it. Some of them are doing it. Will Sasso, you know Will
Yeah, yeah.
Sasso?
Mad
I think
TV.
his podcast is produced by AI completely. Like
Really?
yeah, like they do stuff like that all the time. It's just like they just give it commands and it just generates stuff for him to do on the podcast.
See, we didn't
But
even
other-
have to get this guy. We could have.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't. But there's other people that they do similar stuff.
I don't like that though. AI is
So-
getting too much.
Yeah.
So I said, write me
They
a
can't
joke.
make an AI
Write me a
chick.
joke about barbecues in the style of Sebastian Maniscalco. Sure, here's a joke in the style of Sebastian Maniscalco about barbecues. You ever go to a barbecue and the host is like, "Hey, you want a burger?" And then you're like, "Yeah, sure," and they walk away. Sure. And then they put the burger on the grill and walk away for 45 minutes. And you're standing there like, "Is this burger going to be done before I retire?" I mean, what are they cooking it with? The magnifying glass in the sun? And then they bring it to you, and it's like a hockey puck and with grill marks. You need a chainsaw to cut through it. And they're like, "Hey, how's the burger?" And you're like, "It's great, but now I have to see the dentist."
Oh my god, it's so awful, but it's
yeah.
like
I
that's
want to
like
do
the
an
bitch.
open mic with 2 minutes worth of AI material.
Yeah, and you might
You should do that.
I would do it in a second.
All right, so
Yeah.
here
I'll do it till Wednesday.
you're gonna come out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Who's the comedian you're gonna pick?
Oh no, I don't want to do it in somebody's voice. I want
Well,
to do the
you
joke.
have-
you gotta
you have to
kind of. I mean,
do
I
that.
guess you don't have to, but
Maybe I'll do Bill Burr.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. As long as it's somebody that has a good amount
You
of.
went to a
material.
fucking barbecue place.
So give it,
Dude, I don't want a hockey puck.
yeah, yeah, man. There's really no reason why to do it. So
We should all do an open
actually-
mic with
I
AI material.
We should.
and
we
just
should.
see how
just
it
pick
goes.
a different. That would be a funny show to like. Everybody picks a different comic.
Yeah.
Does the AI jokes in that comic,
Uh-huh.
and you got to figure out what comic.
yeah,
Like
You're
a theme.
AIing.
that would be really like
Hey,
a theme,
you
like a
should
theme
do
show.
that on one of your open mics and just for one night, like have fun with it.
Even if
Yeah,
you
we
just
could
like
do
you have
that.
to start your set with one joke. You don't have to do a whole set like that. Just start your set. You do one
Yeah.
joke. Yeah, that's a fun.
That
thing.
would be fun. That would be fun.
Almost a lithology one might be the better place for that.
It might be. Yeah.
late night.
Because every once in a
Yeah.
while, at the other one, you get too many people where it's like, I don't know if we could do that tonight.
True. By the way, what'd you guys do for Mother's Day? Any you guys?
Oh, that's right. Mother's Day passed. We had a brunch at my brother's house. We do brunches now, so we're like home by like 5, 6.
Brunch
and
is
it's
nice.
Brunch is nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it's over.
Family thing, yeah.
delivered.
I had here's a weird. So I went to my cousin's house. They had a Mother's Day thing for my mother, and my aunt was there. But it was also today is my aunt's birthday, so they had a surprise birthday party for my aunt. But it was just the same party, the same amount. She knew it was going to be a party.
Yeah.
She knew everybody that was going to be there was going to be there, but she didn't know it was going to be not just a Mother's Day, but also.
You just said it
also
was the birthday.
yeah. It's like and also there's a cake. So. She got there like a half hour after everybody. I don't know why. She knew everyone was going to be there.
And they
So they're like,
surprised
everybody get here at 1. She's getting here at 1:30. I'm like, okay, but she knows there's a party happening, right? But yeah, she knows the party, but she thinks it's for Mother's Day. But it's also there's a cake at the end for her birthday. So she turns around the corner and everybody goes surprise, and I go like surprise, and she was confused, rightfully so, because she was like, about what? And she's like, well, it was just for your birthday too.
That's
We have
great.
to explain the surprise.
Oh,
It's so weird. There was one other person that like might not have been there, like one of her friends. Like they invited her. I'm like, is Annie the surprise? Like surprise, Annie's here. Annie's here, and there's a cake. Big deal.
You know what happens when you get to a certain age? You're just like, we got to start having less parties and let's knock them 2 birds with 1 stone.
yeah. It's
That's
like
what that
we
is.
can bang this out between 11 and 1 p.m. It'd be fantastic.
Everybody's got a free Monday now.
Oh my god! I went to a restaurant where I knew a girl that was a waitress there, but it's a big restaurant, right? And I'm like, there's chances
Is
that
this the sex swing girl?
no, what?
Oh, I'm just curious.
Don't try to guess. There's nobody you know.
all right.
But I knew this girl was.
The squirter.
So they had this water fountain up front, and this woman had her legs spread. And I said, I know this. She dated Tommy.
Oh, she looks familiar.
No, so we got there, and I'm like, and right away, I'm like, of course, we're in her section. She's right there. So there's like a moment where you're like, do I say hello? Because I don't know her
How
well.
well? I was just going to ask you. How well?
Sort of by somebody else. It's one of those situations.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I know her, like we know each other, but it's also like not a good friend. So it's and I haven't talked to her in a while. So it's one of those things where I kind of kept my head down,
Oh, what? Open
and I knew she recognized me, and I recognized her, and the moment came and went where it was where I should have been like
Initial.
like, hey, how are you? So I just. The whole time I was like, I was just very nice and didn't say anything.
Pretended you didn't know who she was.
So awkward.
Yeah, it's just an awkward thing.
You make something that doesn't have to be awkward so much more awkward.
No, I'm explaining this for comedic purposes. It wasn't that awkward, but it was also like because I feel like there's like there's that first 10 minutes where you're able to be like, hi, how are you?
Well, after
how
you've
you
seen
been?
them a couple times, you can't.
And then you can't.
that, you
at
can't.
the end of the dinner, when the dessert's coming out, it's like, hey, so remember that?
Yeah.
So the whole time I just, shut up and be like, oh, thank you. Very, So it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like if I see somebody at a grocery store that I know and I catch them first. If I like just got there and it's like the beginning of my shopping, I won't say anything to them because I don't want to have to keep bumping into them. And like, oh yeah, it's
Down every aisle.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Then it gets
Yeah,
annoying.
but
It's terrible.
if I come at the register, I'm like, hey, I'm heading out of here, but it's good seeing you.
You want to make the contact at the end where
Yeah,
you have
everything.
a swift
Absolutely.
getaway.
Yeah,
but
like
when you're at a restaurant, you can't do that
Yeah,
when
you're
the person's
locked in,
waiting
yeah.
on you.
I
Yeah.
don't really care about. Like, I will go out of my way to not see somebody, or I'll just at some point. I just don't.
I know. You have no.
I had somebody. I'll tell you this story, Ryan. Just a little me in a nutshell. I walked out of a place once and ran into somebody that I used to work with, and I knew him well, and I haven't seen him in years. And we got to talking, and he asked me to take his number down, and I told him no, and just kept it moving.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm all full up.
That's exactly what I said. I'm good, man. Good seeing you.
I could
Have a
never
good
do that.
one.
I would never do that.
And it's just like when I left, I'm like, yeah.
I respect that in you.
I just like it was just no reason for me to wait an extra couple minutes to take a number that I'm never gonna call.
Wow.
And I just was like,
That is beautiful
his
and
face-
antisocial.
His face was. I'll never forget the face he gave me. He was like, really? He's like, you asshole. Still me.
It
no.
is. It really is an odd move to do, but I respect it. And,
didn't want his number.
There was this girl that I yelled at once. She was so annoying, whatever. And I was like in the hospital, like by like the emergency room exit, obviously going through something. My sister was like being rushed to the hospital. And she came over and she's like making small talk, see if you can help. And I didn't like her from the beginning. And I just screamed at her. I was like, no, Alice, you can just see him going. Like, I screamed at her. I lit off on her, you know. And then I felt bad about it as time went. But like, I never really liked this person, so I just said her name too. But she's gonna come across this. So I thought about it. Occasionally, like I would be like, should I write her like on Facebook Messenger and apologize? But I don't want to apologize, and then her to be like, "Oh yeah, we should we should get together sometime." Because it's even worse to be like, "Hey, I've been thinking about it. I feel bad about how I yelled at you," and then, but also like I also don't ever want to see you again.
Exactly.
Like that's worse. Like now that I've had time to think about it, I still don't like you, but I do feel bad about that one thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry for
Yeah,
the
I'm
yelling.
sorry for
Still
this.
don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
He'll never ask me for my number again.
No, he never will.
He will never ask anybody. For
Yeah,
that number.
no, nobody is ever getting his number.
Yeah.
God,
I'll never forget his face, and I felt
I
felt
wish I
great
could
about it. Like I didn't even feel bad.
That's a Larry David move
It really is.
for sure.
That
Yeah,
it's.
it was,
I
and I didn't mean anything by it. I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like, see you later. Fucking
I respect it so much, and I don't respect a lot of things he does, but like that move, I really respect because like it's not built in. By the way, there was also another person at the restaurant who was the manager of the restaurant who was talking to my sister during this whole thing, and I looked up at him and I recognized him, but I put my head down.
You were so weird.
Yeah.
Bro.
Because I thought he would disappear, and then he made his way around the table and started shaking hands. And then he got to me. I was like, I didn't even realize you were over.
That move.
Oh
But
my God!
You gotta start acting, and you realize.
Oh, the acting. By the
Yeah.
way, nobody knew. They thought I was involved. They thought I was talking to my niece. I played it off pretty well.
You think you're a good actor?
Oh, I think I'm a great actor.
We'll see when this Jack Adams project finally gets
Yeah,
released.
that'll happen in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, but I played it off well. I pretend I don't know people. That's one of my
that was
biggest
what
things.
happened for you one year Easter. Just a weird.
It was
I was
Mother's
wishing.
Day.
I was
Wasn't
like,
not
I told
Easter
you.
at all.
I like good.
He has no idea.
What?
It was not
said
Easter.
Easter.
It was Mother's
I'm
Day.
sorry, Mother's
Fine.
Day.
I do the same thing. I'm definitely dyslexic.
Same
but
thing. There's
yeah.
a bunny.
I pray when he tells me something happened that it's a family issue because his family is just hysterical when they have.
He
little-
likes when there's friction in the family.
because it's always something great, and I just love your depiction. Like your explaining of everything that goes on is always even
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
I was just really hoping.
Yeah,
for
he likes when my family is at
At odds.
odds
No,
with
I
each
don't
other.
want them to be at odds, but they make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the Ryans.
Good. Well,
From
we're a
top
fun
to
group.
bottom, or the Murphys.
Who's the bottom?
You're definitely a bottom.
Yeah, I am. That's all right. Listen,
All right. Anyway, if you made it this far,
So that literally is something you say at the end of every podcast. That's like a running thing.
oh yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. When the first time you guys said it, I was like, oh,
We had
I-
shirts that say if you made it
made
this,
it this
far.
far. It's
we have
good, yeah.
mugs.
That's a good.
Yeah. Oh, I should bring my mug
That's a
here.
good sign off.
But we should get a mug to put
right-
somewhere over here.
Put on this display.
I was gonna put like an adult baby's thing on my iPad, and then just have it up there, so like it was in the background of just.
We had some stuff. We'll get
You know
that.
what we should?
Yeah, mug
I'm
would be
gonna
good,
think
though.
about getting something. I think I could get it made on like Etsy, where it's almost like a backsplash.
Yeah,
You don't want that?
Not from
Oh
you.
no, actually, I'd rather this stuff.
Yeah,
to
no,
be
this
honest.
looks nice. We don't.
You know what I was saying.
We don't want.
just like a green sheet of
God
us.
knows what you would put
No,
together.
it would just be the logo behind us.
Chick loves tacky stuff. Like
I got a poster that we could use that's not big. No.
I have a
that
green
we
screen.
I
made.
know that poster. It's
I have,
not good.
I have a green screen. Like we can just put the green screen up and put whatever the hell you want. You can have it. You can have it. You guys sit by the ocean
This
if you
is
want to.
I
fantastic.
always wanted to do a green screen. Like, fucking-
We had a green screen in the original.
we never used it.
No, we didn't. We took a picture in front of it once.
Yeah, I think that was.
Oh, man, the many lives we've lived.
Yeah.
If you made it this far,
Thank you guys as always. Like and subscribe, comment. You know, we got new stuff going on. Let's hear what you think.